So we're gonna do a Japanese cotton cheesecake today. For ingredients, you will need some eggs, milk, sugar, salt, flour, cornstarch, butter, and cream cheese. So first, we're gonna create a double boiler and add some milk, butter, and cream cheese on top of the double boiler and mix until it's fully combined, like everything has melted. I recommend you to do it on top of the stove because I'm doing a video, so I just did it. I just took the boiling water and did it, but I took the whole thing back to the stove and turn it on simmer heat and start mixing it. It took about 2 or 3 minutes until everything has combined really nicely together into like a smooth mixture. So after the cheese mixture is done, add flour and sift it before you use it. I just sift it onto the mixture and mix it and add the egg yolks and mix it. So this cake is pretty similar to the cake I have done before, but this one it's a bit more moist and it has a better aroma. Got that cheesy smell to it. I don't know how to describe it, but if you don't like really moist cake, I don't think this is for you, but it is really good. And next part, we're gonna separate some eggs. We're gonna need 6 separated egg whites and egg yolks. And make sure not to get any egg yolks onto the egg white or else it will not whip up nicely. Come on, egg white, get down. Okay, finally. And do it for the rest of the eggs. So for this cake, you will need an 8-inch springform pan, or you can make it into smaller portions and make it into little muffins or cupcakes. But you have to adjust the temperature time. I mean, not the temperature, I mean the baking time, because it's lesser portion, so the time you don't have to bake it as long. This cake will need about like an hour and 10 to 15 minutes of baking because it's really thick and you need time for the egg whites to puff up and cook through. So it's the second time of me making it. It is pretty hard to control the time when to take it out because sometimes it's really moist inside and I prefer my cakes a little bit dry. So it depends on what you prefer. And it's pretty tiring making this cake. You will see later. And I recommend you to sift the cheese mixture before you add it to the egg whites. And for the egg whites, mix it using a hand mixer or stand mixer, or you can do it by hand. It just takes longer. And gradually add in the sugar. I did it in 3 portions. And you can see that when I add it, like I added in the first stage where the bubble starts to form, and when it's in soft peak form, and right after soft peak form, I added the sugar again. So shortly after you added your last portion of sugar, I stop my mixer and take a look. It's in like a soft peak form because like the peak kind of tilts. So I think it's about done. Just about a little more step. I mix the egg white mixture for about 45 seconds on low speed. This will help stabilize the egg whites and to make sure that there are no big bubbles in the egg whites. So this ensures that we have a nice cake. And that's the stiff peak. I'm sorry. So I'm kind of mix my egg white mixture, put like 1/3 of the egg whites to my cheese mixture, and kind of gently fold it in. You want to do it really gently, but not too slow. Nor fast, okay? Don't do it really fast, or else the egg white will deflate. So you have to do it gently. So after the egg white and cheese mixture has been mixed thoroughly, I'm going to add the cheese mixture back to the 2/3 of the egg whites and start folding again. So this is the tiring part I'm talking about. It was so tiring because there's like 6 egg whites, so there's a lot of egg whites to fold in, and I want to make sure that everything combines nicely, or else the cake will be really dense on the bottom and it will be somewhat soft on the top. We don't want that, so make sure that you fold in your egg white and cheese mixture really nicely without deflating the egg whites. So that's the secret. Just try to do it gently, not too harsh. And it should be a somewhat thick mixture, not too watery. And I have my 8-inch pan with parchment paper, and you want to make sure that your parchment paper on the side are slightly high. You will know when you'll see later. So you want, after the batter has added into the pan, you want to kind of lift it up and pound a couple times to make sure that all the air bubbles have came out. And I don't want to put it like in a water bath, so I create a water bath myself. Like I just add hot water to a pan and put it on the lowest rack so the water will not get into the cake. And you need to bake it for 70 minutes to 80 minutes. So you need an aluminum foil cover on the top and the water bath on the bottom and the cake in the middle. And after it's done baking, take it out and cool off on the rack for about 30 minutes. You want the aluminum foil because you don't want the cake to brown so fast. So 10 to 15 minutes of browning, like the last 10 to 15 minutes is enough. That's what I found. And I use a parchment paper to lay under so it won't stick, and let it cool. This ensures that it won't shrink, but most of these cake will shrink. You just want to not shrink as much. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.